I want to change my background.
Okay. It says we're live. So now I wonder if you go to YouTube, you can see anything.
Um,
But I don't know if we can see. Oh, we can see views, but I don't think people can comment.
hmm.
That's the only thing. Oh, it says we're live on YouTube.
Where do you, I'm still trying to change my background. I'm like, what? What?
What's going on?
It's like, how do I pod? I don't know. Sorry. I'm disassociating so hard right now because I can't
Why?
function until I fix this.
Okay, I can see us.
Yeah, I see that
It's
it says
delayed.
live.
I can see us.
Yeah. Oh, well, we probably should edit it afterwards to cut out this.
Okay, that's fun. Okay, we figured it out. So it has to be through this way.
Yeah.
Done. However, it says show comments on this stage. We have to pay for an upgraded plan to do that.
Yeah. Which is fine. We're not there yet.
Yeah.
It's just
Totally.
literally after a year and 5 months, almost a year and a half it's been since we've podcasted.
Oh my God. How do you feel?
Excited. It feels like longer.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of stuff has happened since we last did a podcast. Our last podcast that we aired was with Hannah.
Uh-huh. That feels like forever ago because obviously when it was released, we recorded that probably a month and a half before that.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time. It's been a long time. But I also feel like that since we released that episode and then we took a hiatus for longer than we anticipated, everyone, everyone is now doing a video podcast.
1,000%. Because I think it's just a reflection of the times, right? Like, for me, even, I'm like, I don't want to just listen unless I'm like walking to a podcast. I want to like, it's like something I'm watching, like a show. So I want to see
Yeah.
the person while I'm hearing them talk. Because also, I want to be able to tell if they're lying or not. Maybe I'm just like trying to like read in between the lines. I don't know. I like
Oh
watching
my
people
God.
while they're talking.
I like to see people's reactions.
Mm.
And I feel like we use our face a lot and obviously hand gestures as I'm currently doing. So yeah, I think we're
Well,
right
I
on the
know
money.
I definitely make a lot of faces. I didn't get fully pod prepared for this though. I look kind of like a mess, but yeah, I know for a lot of our pod community, we kind of just like dropped off the face of the earth. So for those people that do watch this that are part of our pod community, we are so sorry. But some real life stuff has happened to us in the last year and a half that basically took us out of commission. So we need to get through those things, and so we're back now, resilient. Nothing can keep us down. We're right back where we started.
Mm-hmm. So, do you want to talk about anything that has happened the last month and a half, or do we want to talk about the future of the podcast and what that looks like?
Has anything happened in the last month and a half?
Year and a half.
Oh, year and a half. Yeah. I mean, I could talk about it. I don't want it to be too heavy, but I mean, I specifically I lost two important people in my life in the last year and a half, and that kind of, if anyone has experienced loss, they don't ever talk about how somebody gets through that. It's difficult. So I obviously had to do what I had to do to grieve, and I'm still actively grieving. It doesn't ever end, but based on things that are happening in your lives, we all have to reprioritize. So prioritizing me was the most important thing um, during that time, which is why I couldn't podcast. And then you obviously had your own stuff as well. So we both had to take a
Mm-hmm.
step back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Just being an adult, you think that you think that everything's good, and I feel like as soon as you have that thought, something happens. That's out of your control.
Mm.
Let's see, I'm trying to think what happened to us. We had a few leaks at our house. Kids are constantly sick. I got laid off from my job on maternity leave. I had to
Yeah.
find a new job. Started that new job. So it's been a lot of fun things to navigate.
It's been real hard adulting, which is so interesting because that's basically the core of our podcast concept is like navigating the themes of adulthood, right? Like, and so
Yeah.
yeah, we were adulting really hard. I mean, I know that
Mhm.
you say that you got laid off, but you lost your job, and that's significant. Like losing your
Mhm.
job, most people on average, maybe they lose their job once in their lifetime. Some people have never experienced that. Uh,
Yeah.
I've experienced it twice in my life, so it changes how you think about the world. It definitely changes how you think about yourself. I know for me, losing your job, you don't realize how much your identity is tied to like what you do to get a paycheck.
Mhm.
Even if you like it or you don't like it, like that's how you identify yourself. So when somebody decides we don't want you anymore, that can mess with your confidence
Yeah.
because you're like, am,
Absolutely.
am I good at am I good at what I do? Am I not good? And I think that
Yeah.
plays into why you and I started podcasting is that we wanted some control out of our purpose in life and not to be have it dictated to us by what we do in our 9 to 5. It's like we want to kind of be
Mhm.
our own bosses, share our own thoughts and feelings. And obviously at work, you're not necessarily talking honestly or authentically with like your coworkers because depending on who they are, they could be like your enemy, right? They could be the competition.
Totally. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So what does the podcast look like in the future for Have We Talked About?
You're interviewing me like I know. I think we're trying to decide that. So it's more of the same navigating the themes of adulthood, but
Mhm.
I think we're gonna let it evolve as it makes sense, but we want to have a more interactive forum to do it. So we're trying something new. I think one of the biggest things about getting older is being resistant to change. So we're not being resistant. We're trying to try something new that we're not familiar with. Specifically going to video and audio is one thing. Like now we're gonna be strictly video for our podcast before we were audio only, and also try and implement some interactive elements into it so that it feels a little bit more, I don't want to say organic, it's not the right word, but it feels like a little bit more of a variety, right? Like we want to touch on things that are going on in the world. We want to touch on obviously topics that are top of mind based on what's going on in our lives in the season of our lives. We want to
Mhm.
I want to have more opportunity to share my opinions and all the things that are happening in my life. And then we
Of
want to be
course.
able to have our audience share those things too.
Mhm.
Does that
It's a great overview.
does that
Mhm.
align with
Yeah,
what you're
I think
thinking?
absolutely, absolutely. And I feel like we're not gonna put a timeline or a deadline of when we're gonna release things. We're gonna release things as often as we can, but also life is a lot,
Yeah.
but we are gonna try our hardest.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to say it. Like we're ideally we would try and do it on a regular cadence, but because this is still new for us right now and we're trying to juggle a lot of things, we're going to do it as much as we can. And I think even for ourselves, we're not going to hold ourselves to the perfectionism maybe that we did before. So it is going to be a little bit more free form and freestyle. So sometimes a podcast might be an hour, sometimes it might only be 20 minutes,
Exactly.
right?
It is what it is.
Eh, It's going to be what it's going to be.
We promise we'll add value in every segment or every episode. We'll make you laugh in every episode,
Mhm.
and you'll probably learn something in every episode. So I
Yeah.
think we can promise you that.
Except this one. You're not going to learn anything in this one.
Mm. Yeah.
It's just like we're still here. Uh if anything, the lesson is that as my mom would say, may she rest in peace, is like, "Don't count me out." So, like, don't count us out. We fell off for a little bit, and now we're back. We're back with full force, and we have 9 lives. So, we're excited. One thing especially is that we see more people podcasting, so we know that it's something that people enjoy. We enjoy it.
Mhm,
I enjoy it.
mhm.
And, yeah, there's something about having the mic in front of you where you're like, I just feel like sharing all of the things. Like, I just feel like doing like
Everything.
confessing everything as soon as there's a mic in front of me. I'm
Yeah.
like, if only it was like that at work. Like during those meetings, like, "Does anybody have anything to add?" I'm like, "No, I'm
I'll
good."
keep it to myself.
Yeah.
So maybe we should have, like, a little, segment every episode can be, like, confessions.
We can consider it. We can definitely consider
So
every episode.
funny,
You can go
so
first.
funny.
I think if of the 2 of us, I'm the more confessional-based person
Mhm.
than you, so I don't think I would have a problem with it. I think you may struggle with that.
I think I can find things.
Oh, okay. Any confessions you wanna do today?
Um, okay, put me on the spot while I think about it.
You've been
Confessions.
putting me
Let's
on the
see.
spot this whole time.
Um,
Let me change my lighting.
I I think everyone can probably s you know, appreciate this one. The fact that employers are requesting, telling people that they need to come into the office 4 to 5 days a week. No, that's horrific. That's horrific. That's my personal belief, but no, no, nope, nope. So confession, no, no, I don't like that. I don't like it one bit. Some people might. I do not. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not.
Especially a corporate job. Like, no, no, we're good.
Yeah, because a lot of people moved and changed their location during the pandemic, and it makes it harder and challenging to commute in. I think the biggest thing as well for me is like, okay, you want me to come into the office? Great. But like now I don't have an actual dedicated desk. So like
Yeah,
that's always been my thing about going in the office. I'm like, I don't have a dedicated space in the office. And now I have a locker like I'm in high school. Like I'm not into that. Like I don't
no,
like, give me back a dedicated desk then. I mean, still, I don't enjoy that, but at least I have stuff that's mine, and I don't have to travel like a nomad every day to, like, find somewhere to put my stuff for the day, so somewhere to sit for the day, and then monitors that work
yeah,
and on this one workstation one day, and then they fucking don't work the next day. I don't have anywhere to lock my stuff, and then like, again, I have to go to my cubby to, like, put my boots away. Like, I'm not into that at all.
Krista, are you going to school? I'm confused. You're going to work or school?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want a cubby. Like, I'm a millennial. That's not like I don't know what that's like. I didn't just leave university and it's not okay. Give me back a dedicated
Yeah,
workstation.
yeah, yeah. And also pre-COVID, the infrastructure and transportation to get to and from your office was good. It was fine, right? It
Yeah.
was doable. Post-COVID in 2025, it's not back to where it used to be. So with people telling the employers telling people that need to go in the office, okay, well then the infrastructure and the transportation needs to like
Reflect that.
move too. Exactly, reflect it. Increase your bus schedule, increase your trains, increase everything because right now it's not where it used to be.
Yeah. And so to give new listeners context, Sarah and I both work at downtown Toronto. And Sarah, with her cute little family, lives in the suburbs and takes the commuter train in every day. But when I did work outside of the city, had to commute outside of the city, and one of the major highways that runs into the city has now been reduced from 4 lanes to two, and it's been that way for the past year, 2 years almost now, and that has made commuting into the city horrendous going from the
Yeah.
west into the city in the east and east to west. So yeah, no, nobody enjoys that. Like the timing of everything
Yeah.
is ludicrous, and it's not
Yeah.
fair to people to say like they should be okay with it, because everything has changed as a result and not for the better to make it easier for employees, truly. Like to your
Exactly.
point. Like
Exactly.
you're on crowded trains, there's less trains, traffic now is longer. So now that 3 hours that you had when you're at home now is dedicated to commuting into the office because it's like an hour and a half each way, depending. And and everything's expensive, and then you're buying lunch and stuff downtown. Like it's really expensive to buy your lunch. I mean, you can bring your lunch, but then it's like you have to go home and you have to plan. You have to feel like I don't know. I don't have a family. I don't go in the grocery store, but I assume like
That's what happens.
you have to plan ahead or
Yeah.
freeze your food and pull
Mhm.
it out, and who picks up the kids because now you're on a train. The kids are
Yeah.
small. And they can't leave them at daycare forever. Like there's all these things to consider, and I think if you're in senior leadership, you don't have to consider it because you are given grace to just not show up to a meeting or be gone because you need to pick up your kids from somewhere, and nobody's going to bat an eye because of your title and your rank within the organization. But for the other employees, they don't have that same type of freedom to come and go as they please without kind of judgment and potential like repercussions from it.
Yeah. I did see something, I think I may have sent it to you, that the reason why employers are doing this is almost like quiet layoffs. So they're giving people the option. I think that
Oh,
was
I,
what
s-
it called,
I sent
or
that to you.
you sent it to me, sorry. I think
Thank
that's what it was called.
Yeah.
Where they're trying to get people back in the office, and obviously some people don't want to, and some people will, and the people that don't want to will then look for another job and then leave. So it's obviously beneficial for the employers because then they don't have to pay severance and
Severance.
everything like that. So that could be a reason why they're doing it too.
Yeah. Another reason that I get it because of course anything on social media is true. So that's one of the things I
Of
saw on
course.
there. The other one was
Mhm.
that because a lot of organizations are being led by middle-aged white men whose family doesn't like them. They
Mhm.
wanna be back in the office where they're revered and where they can be admired because 'cause they're not getting it at home, and they're forcing people back into the office to get that back again, and I'm like, I mean, I don't think that's 100% true, but do I think 25% of that is true? Of course it is, because when you're in the office, there's all these politics that are at play. So
Mhm.
you're not going to give somebody a side eye who's like at a certain level. You're not going to ignore them in public. You're going to basically like,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, it's a great idea, Mr. Whoever you are, C-suite executive, even though that makes no sense. And we said something different yesterday. Yeah. But when you're remote, you can be like, it doesn't have the same feeling when you're like, yep, that sounds great. And then you just continue on
It's true.
and don't respond.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Could
I
be.
think that
Could
speaks to
be.
a bigger thing that also people just realize how much of optics in a work environment are fake and how tiring
Mhm.
that is. Like
Mhm.
the mask is heavy
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
wear when you're like
Absolutely.
pretending that something somebody says is like the most amazing thing you've ever heard if you don't feel like you have transparency in your workplace.
Mhm.
Because I know I'm terrible
I
at
100%. Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
it. I'm just terrible at
Anyways,
being
that was
quick.
no, I didn't. Well, yeah. Well,
I
that
can
was
I can
my
be okay.
confession.
Yeah.
Obviously, Chris and I can talk about this subject literally for days.
Yeah. Well, it's
Um,
so relevant right now.
it's so relevant right now. But is there anything else we wanna chat about before we go, Krista?
Um, no, I mean, as always, we're always interested in hearing what our listeners are interested in or what's going on in their lives so that we can have meaningful conversations that resonate with everybody. And maybe touch on more delicate topics just because I think we do make light of a lot of things in life, but sometimes things in life are not easy to deal with, and it's important to also acknowledge those as well.
Mhm.
And we're excited to just keep on making content and being back in the podcasting seat, back with the microphones.
Totally. It feels so weird, but it feels good.
Yeah. Weird in a good
Mhm.
way.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
But now we're going to use YouTube as a platform too, so people can definitely they don't have to follow us on their what is it called? Like streaming platforms. You can also catch us on
Mhm.
YouTube as well. So we can definitely interact there and subscribe and follow if you haven't already and share with people that you think might value these conversations.
Absolutely. And we'll be back hopefully sooner rather than later. And we promise, well, actually we don't promise. We won't abandon you for a year and a half.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll be back next week.
Yeah.
But if not, then
Who
the week
knows?
after that.
Exactly. We'll try.
All right. I'll see you soon.
Okay. Sounds good. Bye.
Bye, guys.